So today we're going to be looking at one of my hidden gems and a fragrance I've been really enjoying here a lot lately as we've been starting to transition into fall. This fragrance is John Varvatos Dark Rebel Rider, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you my full thoughts on this one, tell you if it's worth picking up, how it smells, how it performs, and just all that good stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you stay tuned for this video. And before we actually do get started with this review, if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also turn on post notifications and give this video a like. That really helps to make sure that these videos show up directly to you. That way you can watch them easier. Even if you come back to my channel every day and watch, if you're not subscribed yet, just go ahead and do it. Just makes it easier on all of us. So let's go and start off with how this fragrance smells. Starting off with the opening here, when I first spray this one on, what I get right away is a very prominent leather note. And I can tell you the first thing I was reminded of when I smelled this scent was CH Men Privé. Not only because of the prominent leather note that CH Men Privé has, but also in the opening right away, I get a little bit of a somewhat alcohol or boozy quality. And no, I'm not talking about the alcohol of the fragrance. I'm talking about like an actual whiskey note or some sort of alcoholic note. I get that immediately off the opening, just like you get in CH Men Privé. And looking at the notes, there is no sign of a whiskey note or anything like that, so maybe I'm the only one who picks up on that, maybe not, but that's just kind of what I get. After it starts to settle down on my skin for about 2 to 3 minutes, I start to pick up on a little bit of a resinous quality mixing in with that leather. And again, as it sits a little bit longer, I start to pick up on a little bit of a smoky quality. And that smoky quality that I'm talking about here isn't something that I picked up on right away. The first time I wore it, I was smelling it, trying to kind of see what I could pick out, and I didn't pick up on that. It took me a few wearings and a little bit of time actually testing this fragrance. That's when I started to pick up on the smoky quality that I'm talking about. And I really like it. It's almost like this cigarette smoke type of smell, and that is something that you apparently get very strong in the original Dark Rebel. Now, I haven't tried the original, so I can't speak on that, but I think I did read some reviews where people said that it smells like straight up like cigarette smoke. And I almost get a little bit of that from Dark Rebel Rider. And again, that's something that you may not pick up on right away. It may take you a few wearings and a little bit of really examining the scent to pick up on it. But once you kind of smell that smoky touch, it's hard to not smell it or notice it anymore. Working farther into the mid and dry down, that leather is still very prominent. What starts to come in is a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cacao, which are notes that are very popular like in Dior Homme Intense, fragrances like that, and a little bit of a woodiness. That smoky touch is still there in the dry down. But mainly what I get from the beginning all the way to the end of this fragrance in terms of what I pick up on the most is that leather note. So this is definitely by all means a leather fragrance by every stretch of the term. If you don't like leather, then this is one you're going to want to pass up. On top of that, if you don't like resin and you don't like balsamic fragrances, this is another one where you're probably going to want to keep this one to the side and not really try it because, again, it's very heavy on the leather and it does have a very resinous and balsamic quality, which makes it very, very sweet, and it really gives it a lot of substance. This is one of those fragrances that I would describe as smelling like very thick and very full-bodied. It just, when you smell it, you can tell that there's a lot there. It's not like smelling something like a fresh, aromatic, and effervescent like citrus fragrance. You can tell that it is very light. This really has a lot of depth to it and just a lot of substance to it. So really, this is not going to be for everyone. If you don't like sweet fragrances, if you don't like leather fragrances, this is not going to be for you. For me personally, I really enjoy this type of scent. I don't have very many of them, but the ones I do have that are kind of going the similar direction, I really like. Another fragrance I could kind of compare this to is Tom Ford Tobacco Oud. Not really that it smells necessarily like tobacco oud, but it does have the same kind of full-bodiedness and substance and depth. That's another one that I would describe as smelling like very thick and just heavy. That's kind of what this one smells like as well. And I will say, I also thought I picked up on a little bit of oud the first time I smelled this, and sometimes I still kind of think I do get a little bit of oud. I could be wrong. I don't think it's listed as a note. It is a very woody scent, so maybe it's there. That's just what I personally get. I don't want that to scare you off though, because it doesn't come across like smelling like dank or very like potent or anything like that, but I do feel like I get a little bit. So let's go and touch on the performance of this scent. Longevity on my skin, I've been getting around 7 hours. Projection wise, unfortunately, does sit a little bit closer to my skin. As I've been testing it, I've been going with around 4 sprays, and within the first, I would say maybe 15 to 30 minutes, it projects quite a bit. It kind of pushes out there, but after that, it starts to die down a lot. And unfortunately, that's kind of the trend with these John Varvatos fragrances. They make fragrances that smell incredible, that smell very high quality, but unfortunately, they just don't last. And really, that's somewhat the case here. I mean, getting about 7 hours longevity isn't bad, but when you smell this type of fragrance, very resinous, very leathery, you would expect to get more out of it. And on top of that, you would expect to get better projection as well. But I'm not going to knock it too much for the performance because it really doesn't bother me as much as it used to, especially when you have something that smells as good as this or just something that you really, really like. You kind of tend to overlook performance a little bit. So yes, this may not be some beast mode fragrance that a lot of people are going to be after. That's just kind of the sad truth. But in terms of scent, this stuff just smells incredible and it's really worth checking out. The compliment factor on this one is going to be pretty solid as well. My girlfriend did like this scent a little bit. I don't think it's one of her favorites, but she doesn't mind it. And I would say you're probably going to get somewhat mixed reactions from this. There are probably going to be some people who really don't like it. Probably going to be some people who really love it. So it really just depends. I feel like at the end of the day, if you wear this with confidence, if you wear this correctly, dressed, in the right way, wearing the right season, I think this could do well for you. But if you're wearing this like in the summer, wearing like casual shorts and stuff like that, that is not the time to wear this fragrance and it's probably not going to work out. Performance may also hold you back a little bit, being that it does sit pretty close to the skin. So this is something where you're wanting to get a lot of compliments, you're probably going to go pretty heavy on the trigger. And I guess I can talk about when this fragrance is best suited for. So in terms of seasons, definitely fall and winter, cooler weather scent all the way through. Some people may even say it's leaning more towards winter just because of how resinous and sweet it is, but I think it can work really well in fall as well. In terms of situations like dressed up, dressed down, I would say this one would be more casual if you're wearing like a leather jacket. I know people compare CH Min Privé to a leather jacket fragrance. This one could work great for that as well. Also, I would say just a little bit dressed up. Maybe if you have a dinner to go out to or something, you could wear this one for that type of event. I do feel like it has a little bit of a classiness to it. It is very rugged. It's got a very prominent leather note, which gives it an edge. But I do think it could work dressed up a little bit. But really though, with this one, I would say use your best judgment. You could wear it to work if you wanted to. I do think there are better options out there, but it could still work. I would say for the most part, this could work for about anything, but it is more suited for, I would say, more casual to a little bit dressed up. Overall, I'm really happy with this scent. I'm really impressed with it, and I have been impressed with a lot of the John Varvatos fragrances I've tried. Very, very high quality in terms of scent and also the bottle itself. I mean, when I smelled this for the first time, I was really impressed. It doesn't come across smelling synthetic, or it doesn't smell cheap or anything like that. It smells very high quality, and it just smells like it's really been thought out in terms of the creation of the scent. It smells very well-rounded, polished. It doesn't really seem like they just threw something together here. I really like just overall how it comes together. And the bottle itself is really cool. If we take a quick look at it, you can see some details on the cap at the top. You have Dark Rebel around the cap. If you take the cap off, you have Dark Rebel Rider on the atomizer, if you can see it. And then what's cool is this leather thing actually unzips and you can actually take the bottle out, which is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know really why you would necessarily want to do that, but yes, you can take it out, and then you have the bottle itself, which looks like this. So if you're not a fan of the leather thing, you can take it off if you want to. So overall, really cool presentation, really well thought out. I love the zippers on the bottle. It just makes it look very rugged, very masculine. The leather is a really nice touch. It really just kind of captures how this scent smells, and you get a taste of it before you even spray it on, just by looking at the bottle and by holding it. So I really like the attention to detail there. Overall, really happy with the scent. I would like to pick up the regular Dark Rebel since I am such a fan of this one. And there's a few other John Varvatos fragrances I want to pick up as well for the fall and winter. I had Artisan Aqua a while back, which is a summer fragrance. I ended up swapping that one out for something else, but I really missed that one. And that was my first John Varvatos fragrance, the first one that I owned. And I was really very impressed with that scent, not only in terms of quality, but also just how unique it was. So really, they make fantastic, fantastic scents here. Again, the main drawback being the performance. Most of them, you're not going to get the best performance. This one isn't too bad. Some are a lot worse. I'm not really sure if some are better. Some might be. I don't know for sure, but you just kind of have to pick and choose here. I would say this is 100% worth picking up just because of how good it smells. Would I recommend you blind buy this one? You know, I would be somewhat careful with it. If you have been in the game for a while and you know what you like in terms of your taste and fragrances, and if you're able to look at the notes and think, oh, I'm going to like that or I'm not going to like that. If you know what you like and you know you like leather fragrance, you like balsamic fragrances, resinous fragrances, then yeah, this would be a safe blind buy because you would most likely like that. But if you really haven't been in the game that long, you're not fully sure what you like in terms of notes and accords and certain types of fragrances, I would say to maybe sample this one first. But on the other hand, this one isn't all that expensive. It comes in at around $30 for a 100 ml bottle like this, or a 125 ml bottle, sorry. So it's really not a bad price. So blind buy, if you end up not liking it, you're only out $30. So it's really up to you at the end of the day. I would say most of you out there, though, are really going to enjoy this one. It is something different, something unique. And again, for $35 or $30, you get a lot of value here for, you know, a fragrance that cheap. Just really something unique and something high quality. So as always, guys, that's going to be it for this review. That is my full thoughts on John Varvatos Dark Rebel Rider. Let me know what you think of this one down below in the comments. If you've tried this one, if you've tried the original Dark Rebel, if there's any other ones I should pick up. And I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. That's going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.